Hello, everyone, and welcome to our February development update for Ashes of Creation. We hope that you've been having a wonderful month. We know we have been having a busy one.
Yes.
There has been a lot going on for us internally. As you all know, this year we're going into Alpha 2, so it's kind of a big, exciting thing for us. And that
Hmm.
means a lot of things are in the
And
works.
thank goodness we had an extra day this
Wow,
month. Oh, whoops.
you are peeking.
I am peeking.
You're
I'm peeking.
peeking.
Peekaboo.
You're just ripping everyone's ears off. Okay, go for it.
I was just saying, thank goodness we have an extra day this month, and we're doing our live stream on is today's leap day, right?
Is
Is
it?
it leap day? I think it is leap day.
Potentially.
I don't know.
Because it's the 29th of the month. Does it? I don't
Right.
remember. It always changes, right?
I know. Every 4 years.
Hopefully
Oh,
that's better.
yes.
Let me know,
Thursday the
y'all.
29th is leap day. The next leap year will be 2028.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to adjust my audio. Sorry, it's kind of how the stuff's coming in. So I will do what I
Oh.
can. Apologies. I'll talk loudly. Yeah, I don't know why you're coming through super loud and I was not.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It happened last month too. And I even went through and I tested all the audio before we went live and it still did it. So,
Well,
not
that's
sure
weird.
not sure
Oh.
what's going on between the last couple streams.
Hmm. Well, we can try to adjust that.
Yes, I will try
Um,
to adjust it as we're going through.
yeah.
But in the meantime, please bear with me. I will try to talk loudly and get through it as best I can for you all. But today we have quite a run of show for you. As you can see below, we have our reminders. We're going to be doing a commissions preview. Commissions are a little quite different than probably what you've seen before in regards to how they are incorporated into our world and change the world. And we're going to really show you guys how one little thing on a messaging board can change the world around you as you're exploring.
Yes.
And then we also have our studio update, art update, and then we'll do a Q&A as per usual. But before we get into all of that, we have our subscriber comment spotlight. And of course, this is because they have subscribed to our YouTube channel and left a comment on our big development update post. And you too can also be spotlighted. Remember that if you are subscribed to us, make sure that you have that post public and then also allow us to see that you are a subscriber and leave a comment on the development update live stream for February, the one that you're watching right now. But this one is from Adastra, and I will show it over here on the screen for you all. Ooh. All right, and they're asking, hello, Intrepid team. My question is about the enemy's field of vision. In the open world, how far away from hostile targets will they be before they act aggressively towards us? More specifically, will creatures watch us murder their friends in the open world with no reaction? Will they try to kill us in retaliation, or will they run away in sheer terror? Thank you.
Mm.
And then
Yeah,
we'll leave it to Stephen.
that is a great question. Obviously as MMO gamers, we're accustomed to the concept of like social aggro. When I hit a target out in the field, they're going to aggro other creatures nearby. We have similar functionality, obviously. However, we also, have this concept of a more puzzle-oriented, level design, right? Where you have different patrollers that might be moving around the world, so that dynamic is always changing. The creatures that are near each other might be something that you need to be cognizant of as you begin to navigate those areas. And there might even be certain faction types, right, where you may have dedicated aggro social tags between certain creature types. And that might be like goblins with their goblin dogs, right? They could be far away, but they send off an alert to those nearby enemies when you aggro another target. And then you also have these perception radiuses, right? And there's a number of different perception radius types that we incorporate as part of our AI. Those things might be a forward-looking perception cone that represents kind of sight-based perception. And then you might also have a rear perception radius that might represent kind of sound. And those perception types might even interact with unique stats. So as a rogue, you might have a stealth ability, or as a ranger, you might have camouflage ability. Those are going to dampen those stats, which are checked by those perception radiuses. And then you might even have, different creature types that fly above the battlefield or beneath the battlefield. And they may have downward cone type angles. The whole idea is that navigating the world should be like a puzzle, right? And as you move throughout, oh, how's the sound? We doing better?
I'm adjusting things while you're talking.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's probably why people are freaking out. So.
I just see things going then in the chat going crazy. But anyways, as you interact with the world, you're going to be unraveling that puzzle, and each of the zones that you move into are going to be different. And that is the important part of world design, right? And encounter design. So it's something we want to make sure is compelling.
All right. Yeah, I am really not sure what's going on with the audio, so I apologize in advance. I'm working through it, but hopefully you guys can still hear. You'll just have to turn it up a little bit for now while I'm adjusting it. Apologies. But I
And
also just
and
want to go
I
ahead.
can keep riffing, by the way, if you want me to, if you want to keep playing. That's totally fine with me. I have
Yeah,
no
if you'd
problem.
like to
Yeah,
talk a little
sure.
bit further about
Sure.
it.
Let me talk a little bit more about our AI and what we've incorporated for perception. Obviously when we talk about enemy factions, it's not just
Yeah, I
how they
think I got you,
interact.
but I just have no idea why my mic is very quiet.
Okay, got
So
it.
I think I will just be quieter, and I am uncertain as to how I can fix that right
It's
now.
okay. You can talk through me. You just tell me just tell me the topic you want to talk, because I can hear you great. You just tell me the thing you want to talk
Yeah, that's
about,
why
and
I'm confused. I
yeah,
don't know
I'll
why it's coming
translate.
through that way for them, but I think they can still hear me. It's just it sounds
Okay,
weird. But
got it.
anyways, I want to move on to the next thing just so we can keep things moving
Yes.
along. But thank you for that YouTube comment. We appreciate it. That's a good one. It's an easy one. We already know the plan that we have in regards to AI and whatnot. The next thing is dev discussion about esports, and we know that this was a hot topic for folks, and we're actually very curious about it. So the question here was, what are your thoughts on esports and player run competitive events in the
Mm.
MMORPG genre? What type of competitive spectator friendly content do you think would be fitting for Ashes of Creation? Are there any tools you'd like that would make competitive events easier for players to run? And again, I think that this made people think we were thinking about esports, but it's more of, hey, if players take things off and want to do esports oriented things, we want to support community. Wherever the community goes and what you guys want to do, we want to support that. And Ashes of Creation is planned to be a competitive game. And
Hmm.
so we just want to make sure that you all have the tools that you need in order to do the cool things that you want to do. And obviously, we'll have some in game run events, but we also know that players run their own events. Even during Alpha 1, there a group of people came over to a bridge and they were creating like a 1v1 battle, and we loved seeing that. Don't think it didn't go missed. We saw what you guys were doing and we really thought it was cool. So we just want to make sure you guys also have the tools that you need.
Yeah, just to comment on this real quick, esports, because
Yeah, go for it.
as an MMO player, right? I really like what esports represent, right? Which is this idea of kind of team-based performance and competition. What I would say as an MMO player is, esports tends to miss out on a core element that's unique to MMORPGs, which is progression, right? And it's difficult to represent that progression in the traditional esports format that we see with other game and genres today. Um, However, what I will say is that I have participated in some MMOs that have stood up kind of cross server competitions. And I've really personally enjoyed those types of cross server competitions where you bring the best that those individual servers have to offer with regards to groups or teams or constant parties, as we like to call them, and you allow them to compete in an arena format, right, or in a castle siege format. Like, that is super cool. I love that server versus server type of type of, competition. And I think that's where there is a potential to do something interesting with regards to esports and the MMORPG genre. So it was really cool to see players kind of opine on that. There's a lot of obviously similar thoughts, but as you said, it's a highly charged discussion.
Yeah, it's a spicy one primarily because everyone sees it in a different way, and obviously esports has become such a big thing in different spaces, and that doesn't mean that we're gonna go buy a stadium and start doing that kind of thing right at launch.
Right.
But it's more of just being conscious of what the community wants, and if the community is like, "Hey, no, we don't like that," it gives us a good perspective on like where to spend our time when we're developing things.
Yep.
And with that, we are ready to talk about commissions. Do you want to do the
Ooh.
preview before the preview?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. So let me give you guys a little bit of a preface here. Obviously, I'm gonna be a broken record as I usually am. Things are still a work in progress. Please keep that in mind as you are watching this video. And we are also going to launch this video at the same time on YouTube that we show it here on Twitch. So for those of you who want to see it in the 4K glory, the only agreement we're going to make with you is that you don't leave Twitch. You stay here, give your commentary. We want to see what you think about it. So chat in the Twitch channel while you're watching on YouTube. And I want you to think about this when you're watching the showcase. Commissions are a very traditional format when it comes to questing, right? Questing in MMORPGs, we're not trying to recreate the wheel, so to speak, in what that questing feels like. However, with that being said, how the questing affects the world is really the bread and butter of where commissions are essentially the start of that daisy chain of events. These are very small, easily digestible, quick grab and run kind of activities that you get to do in the world, and you're going to see that. But they have consequences, and they influence the world based on the number of players that are adopting those quests, those commissions, and are going out, and how they complete them is what's going to influence the next step. It is a domino type effect that creates activity, which then causes events, which then causes story arcs, which then mold and shape the way the world around you exists, both from population perspective, as well as even the types of dungeons that you can enter, their layout. A lot of different things are unique in that regard. And remember, like the core tenet, the central pillar that Ashes is setting itself apart from other MMOs is that it is a dynamic world, and that world is always in flux. So the types of commissions that might be available to you are going to change on a moment-to-moment basis, and that is the aspect of our content, our content drip that is unique. So keeping in mind things are a work in progress, especially when it comes to UI and visual effects and the gameplay. Those are things we are still working on towards our Alpha 2. This is all Alpha, so keep that in mind, and hopefully you guys enjoy, and we'll see you in just a second.
Yeah, we'll see you in about. Now I am loud. There, I think we're even now. And we will see you in about 30 minutes.
Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another stream in Vera, and we have an exciting stream for you today. We are going to be talking about one of the most core experiences that all of us come to expect from the MMOs that we play, and that is questing. But Ashes does questing a little bit differently than your average MMO, and today, to help me talk about that, I have three of our absolute glorious developers. Two of our senior designers on the narrative side, Scott, Tony. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
I'm awesome.
I am awesome. Everything is awesome. Yes, absolutely. You are awesome, and your guys' team have been doing an awesome job at creating compelling stories, and I'm excited to kind of go through these today with the community and give them some insight into what they can expect with their normal day in Ashes of Creation. And of course, one of the gentleman behind the magic, our glorious engineer, Tyler, is joining us as well. Tyler, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Excited to have you too. So, we are starting out in a familiar space, obviously. This is the node of Miraleth. We have been here before. We have turned in some glorious caravans within this node. And, some of you might be thinking to yourself, well, outside of caravans, outside of these grand kind of core architectural systems like citizenship and housing and story arcs and all of those types of systems, what is the normal day-to-day questing like in Ashes of Creation? And we're going to look at this from a solo player perspective, and later on we might have some aid and assistance in completing perhaps some of the group-based stuff, but it all begins in a node, and it begins specifically at this location. What am I looking at here, Scott?
So this is a commission board. Every node has many different commission boards depending on what service buildings are installed there. And commissions are basically these teeny tiny little single objective quests that are sort of like appetizers or quick little digestible things to help you get out into the world and start progressing both your character and your node contribution.
Okay, cool. And I see that these commissions, obviously there's 8 of them that I can see here. That says that it refreshes in the next roughly 30 minutes, although the clock is not moving for some reason. Let's see if that... Oh, it is moving. We're just not seeing a live update. So that's a bug. Guys, I do want to take this moment to to obviously give our standard disclaimer. Everything you see here is a work in progress. Obviously, we are working towards our Alpha 2, which is an alpha of Ashes of Creation. We're here in the Riverlands. You're going to see UI. You're going to see VFX. You're going to see systems like this that are still in a very functional state. But we are looking at a very pretty board here, and these kind of remind me a little bit about cards almost. They feel like cards kind of, and there's some standardized information on here. I see level, I see some reward, I see some basic information about the story of these commissions, and I also see some colors. Talk to me a little bit about the colors.
Sure. So commissions, they come in basically different rarities, the same way that collectible cards might. So pretty astute there. The rewards basically grow quite a lot depending on the rarity of the commission that gets dealt, and these get dealt for everybody like on this board. So in this node, right? So and you can improve your chances of getting rare commissions for your node depending on how you develop your node.
Okay, very cool. Absolutely. The Oakenbane Overlook, I just took that. I see that it's been added to my objective tracker, and Minotaurs sounds pretty interesting, so I'm going to grab those, and I should be able to now see them obviously in my journal. This gives me, under Miraleth, kind of my active commissions that are here within this node, and I can take a look at the map, I assume here, and go around and take a look at the objectives. So we have the Scatter the Horde that's here, and Oakenbane Overlook here, which is good because I think we have some business perhaps in the Oakenbane area. We've shown that off before, but it has some updated interesting things going on there. Okay, so let's grab these two and let's head out. Now obviously you were saying these are kind of bite-sized, digestible, easily let me grab and go, show some progress in the world. But commissions are more than just bite-sized pieces of content. They also feed other content systems too, right? Talk to me a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, Tyler, you can take this one.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll take it. Right, every 30 minutes or so, the board will refresh. The server will query a bunch of different information about the world. And this is ranging from story arcs that are active, story arcs that have been completed, weather, time of day, a whole bunch of different range of factors.
Very cool. And then...
And it will...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
The board will attempt to deliver commissions that are relevant to these areas, and they will try to lead you into areas where more content can be found, kind of like a cascading effect of commissions and events and just general things to do.
Okay, speaking of events, I see I just had a pop-up here. A pale hornless minotaur is idling nearby and beckons me. Interesting.
So that is a call out for one of our side quests, which they're like commissions, but better. Tony, do you want to talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, side quests are like commissions. You know what you're getting with them. You go to a commission board and pick out your cards, what you want. But side quests, these are a variety of quests with a variety of objectives that exist in the actual world itself. So they can be hidden in various ways, and so during your adventures, you want to pay attention around you because one might pop up on your map, and if you're lucky, you might notice it and be able to obtain it, and it might lead into a really big quest chain,
Cool.
or in the very least connect to a larger story.
Awesome. And I'm looking at one of these guys here. His name is Many Exiled Berserker. Now, we've seen Minotaurs in the past, but Minotaurs actually are a minor faction in Ashes, and there are different tribes of Minotaur and different kind of species influence for the Minotaurs. This guy apparently is friendly, so I could talk with him. Okay, cool. Look at this guy. He's got a little profile going on. Watch yourself, godling. My kith work nearby, and they shall brook no intrusion.
You save yourself some money on voice acting. That's perfect.
I
Steven.
love
Yeah.
it. I said I love it. It is so cool.
You can handle it.
No, the writing is impeccable. It's impeccable. Okay, let's talk to him. Why is he standing here? Okay, so he's trying to deliver some poultice to his brother, but he's forbidden to see him. Okay, let's see if I can take it over there. He's too weak to fight. That's a rude thing to say about your brother.
Knows his limitations, you know.
Okay, so I've received a Minotaur poultice, and I see here I have some rewards just to deliver this. It includes some dull glint, some experience, and some cheap coin.
Yep. So side quests can give a variety of rewards. They're bespoke for the side quest itself. So as you progress this chain of side quests here, you can unlock things that are specific toward Minotaurs, whether it's like their rare sort of crafting reagents, recipes for their stuff. All kinds of different things can pop up, and just like any of our spawning systems, like what Tyler was getting at with the commission board. They all are reading world states to determine what is allowed to spawn and where it should spawn and things like that. So different side quests can appear depending on the world state as well.
Okay, very cool. All right, I see here I have this guy named Maho. Or girl
Yes,
named
that is who
Maho.
you should be delivering your poultice to.
And also they have an available quest for me as well. I have brought a poultice from your brother. Let's see here. Yes, I'll accept that reward. Very nice. Oh, look at him. He's kind of they're stretching. Let's see if he's got something else for me. So this kind of leads us down the daisy chain like Tony was talking about of, you know, different connective tissues of story throughout the world relate either to the commission, the events, or story arcs in general.
Exactly. And especially like missions and side quests, like those, in completing those, you're going to be participating in activity maps, which you've laid all around here. And those can spawn events, those can make a number of things happen, which then will in turn influence, you know, further spawns that can happen and things like that.
Okay, cool. And I also see, you know, this is obviously thematic, right? It relates to kind of our progression of itemization. I see this person has a recipe for Stormcaller's axe. He is also talking about an event that relates to some type of, it looks like storm beneath the stone shadows, perhaps?
Correct. So that event is not currently happening, but you can provoke that event basically by working on your commission to slay Minotaur. That will draw out their leader, whose name is Yuna. But it's sort of incumbent upon you and other players to provoke that event.
Got it. Okay, so provocation means essentially I need to kill 10 Minotaur, 10 basically Minotaurs, any type of Minotaur here.
And that's just for your commission. The activity map is actually a separate tally, a separate counter. We've tuned it down for the purpose of the live stream because it's just you here, but other players that had grabbed that commission from the node might be here as well helping, and that would progress that counter a lot more rapidly. Good luck with the birds.
Oh no, my gosh, this guy summoned a bunch of birds. Ah, got him. Cool, so the summoned creatures actually dissipate with the NPC that you kill, the
Correct.
the summoner.
And the world team has done a very, very good job with the setting up the encounters here, and the points of interest I think are looking great, and they feel great to play through. The encounters are difficult if you're not careful. If you're pulling multiple mobs, I don't know who would do such a thing.
I
But
know, my god, hey, that's why I have sleep.
that's true. Yeah.
That was a nice arc.
Thank you. It was beautiful. Go away. Oh no. Oh god. Oh my god, no, no, no.
It's not even his final form.
Let's sleep the other guy. Well, that did not work. A quick release there. I might need to use some potions.
Yeah, the berserkers are really tough when they're on top of you like that.
Okay, hold on. Let's put some ice down in front of him. I'm out of mana. Oh no. Oh god. I'm totally out of mana.
You got to plan ahead when you're adventuring by yourself in Vera.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And one thing you'll see about the commission board and how it generates its commissions, one thing is that all players in the node will see the same commissions. So there is a really good chance when you take one of these from the board that there will be many other players fighting alongside you. And that's how we get those like large activity map generation to start spawning events.
Yeah, that is. I mean, obviously these help to kind of, you know, move player traffic throughout the world because, as we said, nodes act as a hub, and one of the ways they direct player traffic is obviously through the commissions, the buy orders, you know, things that essentially are supplying that demand, right, of activity or action from the player. And then what the players choose to do is essentially the agency that's provided in helping to dictate how the world state will change. And I think that's obviously, you know, questing is a kind of standard and staple, tried true method of core gameplay loop that players come to expect from MMOs. But what they haven't traditionally seen is the follow-up of how those actions that the players participate in yield a response from the environment, from the server, from a historical identity that now can be kind of seen in the world. And we're going to see that here, right?
Yeah, and that's not to say that our quest content doesn't get much more complicated, especially when you start getting involved in story arcs at that level. But this is all sort of, you know, story arcs don't happen without nodes being built up, and nodes don't get built up without players doing commissions and grinding experience and things like that. So all of this stuff does all play together and creates a very nice loop to like unlocking the bigger, more complicated adventuring content. And story arcs as well, like, are also one of the potential predicates for side quests and things like this starting. So as you level up your node, and that begins more story arcs, even more content related to those stories as they progress in real time become available.
How many do I have so far? I have 7. Oh!
Okay, so you've sufficiently agitated the Minotaur, and they've brought out their leader, the Stormcaller, and he comes with a storm.
Oh, very cool. Okay. This is pretty awesome.
doubly so because since you instigated this event, which changed the weather, that will also now influence spawns nearby. You could potentially be spawning, well, you are spawning, side quests that relate to the rain, changes in enemies that relate to the rain, and that's driven on player action. So it is like a feedback loop in a way as well.
All right, very cool. So I see, obviously, the weather here, as you said, has changed. It is now raining, and the wind is picking up. And I also see that there is lightning that, looks a little hazardous.
Yes, that lightning will hurt you very bad if it strikes you. Weather events and encounters themselves can include hazards like that can appear and shake things up. It can also help too if you can kite enemies into the lightning strikes or whatever.
Very cool. Now, do I have I think I might need a little team for this. This seems to be a lot of stream
There's quite a
weavers.
lot of them there.
I'm perched up on this hill. If you guys are nearby and want to join me.
Let me see if I can
I
find
don't
you.
know. It looks
Yeah, I'm
kinda
sure you can help
dangerous.
you out.
Yeah, so you starting that event would have, like, we can see that from quite far away, which would, if players weren't already here for the purpose of the commissions, they might be tempted by the event as well. We can invite you into our party here.
Let me just gather some of these bushes. Yay.
There's some Minotaur just behind you, Tyler, watch out. Alright,
Wait, where's Tony? We need Tony.
he's right here. Oh no, wait, where is he?
I'm here.
Oh, he was
Oh,
coming
there
up.
you
I'm wearing a lot of armor. I'm not going into that lightning.
Oh god. Oh god. Maybe we can kill one of the minotaurs with the tree.
Looks like Una died to the lightning.
Oh my god, seriously?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Leroy, let's go. Kill him. All right, so these are the Stormweavers that he was trying to kill. I see this guy over here. I will call the lightning. Oh, I have a healer. That's nice.
I got your back. Oh, I need to get my back.
Oh no, wait.
You just kite them into the lightning.
Oh, there's a supply
Not
chest.
good.
Oh no.
Oh no,
What,
you two
Tyler?
are going down. Wait, let me sleep him. Let me sleep him. I'm gonna sleep him. Okay, alright, hold on. He's asleep. Let's see if we can get a bolt of lightning. We need some lightning.
Well,
Some of them have
Oh,
died
here we
to
go.
that as well.
Oh,
I'm ashes. I'm ashes and ashes. So
oh, maybe we can get you res up. Hold on,
I was the healer.
I'm gonna keep him slept while you guys come back. Wait for it. Sleeping
The
again.
Stormweavers are pretty hard to move.
Yeah, they are. Oh, you know what we should need to show off as well that we didn't show off last time? Oh, here we go. Oh! Oh my gosh! Somebody res me!
Can't rest,
Oh,
just
man.
the sword guy.
Somebody get back here and res me. Oh, there he goes! He just got hit!
Got him.
Oh no, okay, I got 45 seconds before I got a release.
nope.
That was you.
I
it's
got you.
fine.
Tyler's coming? Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yes! Oh, nice. Okay, alright, very cool, very cool. Let me grab some of my stuff. Great. I'll grab some of your stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, help yourself.
Oh, thank you. And let me actually get this supply chest.
So this is just the reward for participating in the event. So even people that didn't have the side quest to do the event could still get rewards from participating.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's awesome. And again, guys,
they're-
this is all a work in progress still, right? This is a very functional implementation currently of the system, and there will be additional controls where you can split raid essentially, and each person can interact with the supply chest and get their reward from the event.
Yep.
Look out!
Oh god.
Look
Oh,
out!
he
I'm
brought the
coming
rabbits.
in.
Oh no, not the rabbits. Oh, let me kill these guys real quick. I'm gonna sleep that battle priest while you guys murder the rabbits.
They're gone.
Okay. There we go. All right. Now we've cleared this little portion, but obviously the weather is still active, and
Yep.
that's because the zone has changed kind of to the activity that we have presented here.
Yep. So that means there's some new opportunities new opportunities available for you. We can leave you to carry on turning your quest.
Yeah, it was an honor, by the way.
Yeah, no, just glad to be here. Thanks for the carry, Stephen.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, definitely couldn't have done it without you.
Grab that Minotaur pigment. I see a sudden scholar has also spawned. Oh, and I see the event is still going there. That's cool.
That is just to collect the rewards. Yeah.
Let me go over to this sudden scholar. Where is that at? So talk to me a little bit about this weather system, right? That's pretty cool that we had the environmental hazards that spawned, and that doesn't just pertain to the event, right? These types of weather systems, they can kind of be anywhere in the world.
Yes. So just like regular weather, they can also just spawn based on a number of like variables in the environment, like precipitation, things like that. So you can get weather naturally, but players can also affect it too, and it can be more than just the weather. Like there's Storyx and side quests that can do things like placing an eternal night in an area, change the seasons and things like that. They can be quite stark. And all of those things, like we mentioned before, create new and different opportunities for what types of content you might find.
Oh no, I'm sorry, give me a second. Oh no.
Are you still in trouble, Stephen? Do we need to help you again?
No, I'm doing fine.
Okay.
I'm doing fine.
I'm gonna take my pigment and get out of
Okay,
here.
there we go. Talk to me a little bit about kind of these this area, the Minotaurs as a faction, and kind of what how the spawners can kind of change around the world to represent that player activity.
Yeah, it's especially prevalent with the Minotaur, who are nomadic. These Minotaur in particular are interested in like spiritual sites, so sites that have to do with like funerary rites and things like that of ancient Aelins, and that ties a lot into the story of this POI, which is called Titan's Ring. All that stuff gets developed in other side quests and Storyx potentially. That can come around, because like you mentioned before, these aren't just necessarily Minotaur all the time. There are other things that can be happening here, depending on the state of the world.
Got it.
That
And I
can
see
provide other aspects of
I
the
see
story.
Luna here, for example. She spawned as a side quest because this rain event occurred.
Correct. Yes, she is one of the side quests that are attached to the Rain State.
Okay, cool.
One of the
She wants
spawns
me
attached
to
to the Rain State.
defeat some Mycelium along the Lonely Oak Creek, which I assume is up ahead. I
It's
accept this.
right around the corner there from you.
Oh, okay, very cool. All right, let's take a look. I love the stormy effect. I think obviously players have seen our season system in place, but we haven't really seen a bit more of the weather events, and this looks great. I think Todd did a great job on the kind of rain effect here. Sounds good. I love the WPO on the trees and the wind. Very cool.
Yeah, the sound and environment really shine in this game. I really love the work that they're doing on it. So if you follow the river south, because you do still have that commission that you picked up very early on to go to the Oakenbane Overlook, which is not too far from where you are. It's just south of you a little ways. And that is kind of, you wanted to check out Oakenbane anyways, and that will take you to a really nice place to take a look at it.
All right. Let me...
So you can clear the Mycelium along the way. I noticed you forgot to turn in your Una quest, but that's okay.
Which one?
Did you turn in your Stormcaller quest?
Oh, I think I didn't. Let me go. Where do I turn that in at? Back at the.
Yeah, bring it back to Maho.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can do that.
I just want to make sure that you get your quest rewards. You know.
All right, let me grab it.
You can give Steven a little Sherpa.
Actually, you know what? I can probably let me just run back there real quick. I'm on my way. Or actually, can I complete it from here?
Side quests, no.
Okay, cool, that's a
Commissions,
great point.
commissions, you can't. Yeah, yeah. Side quests have to go back to either the place that the commission was or the side quest was given, or also potentially other places the side quest will specify where you're supposed to bring your completion.
Right. And a lot of times that's because they're leading you to another place that might hold something else related to that side quest you just completed.
Yeah,
Not all
so-
the time, but that's one of the intents.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. Breadcrumbing is very important for these.
I'm going back to Maho. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay. Let's see. Where is Maho?
he is right there on your left.
Oh, okay, sweet. Maho, my friend. Yuna is dead. Yes, that is very true. He did put up a little bit of a fight, but the weather actually was to his detriment as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to get the Stormcaller's recipe, additional Minotaur pigment, which is obviously a rare material component that's probably used in crafting
It is
this.
specifically for crafting Minotaur objects. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. Okay. So these different factions hold unique rewards that are delivered both through the questing as well as drop tables for the Minotaurs and other, local environments that contribute directly to crafting those types of items.
Yeah, the Minotaur pigments are actually pretty rare, so we just got a little bit lucky there, but the side quests are a nice way to get a guaranteed little injection of them. And yeah, there's stuff like that for all of the factions, especially ones that have like a set of crafting sets and things like that.
Cool. Very cool. All right, I am headed back this way, I believe. Is that right?
Yep.
Or did I?
You need to make your way back toward that. I think you can get there just straight from the way you were going, but
Oh, okay, cool. I'll go back this way.
you have the Mycelian kills? I can't see.
Let
Here.
me see here.
I don't think you have them yet.
I don't think so, although I see some Mycelians down here now.
Yeah. I mentioned just because the overlook was fairly close to where you just were.
All right.
Yeah, it's that very last objective you have in your tracker.
All right. Oh my gosh. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, the NPC teams, I think they've done just an incredible job lately with the fights. I feel like the encounters are getting very, very fun and dynamic and varied.
Absolutely. They're getting very good. Very good, actually challenging, right? Now that we're having good representative kind of progression within the A2 world. Oh, that little dude disappeared.
It was attached to his parent that you destroyed.
Okay, let me see if I can avoid these guys. I'm getting some type of injury. They actually...
Yeah, they will poison you.
I'm gonna sit down here. Nope, not gonna sit down there. Let me move forward. Probably not gonna sit down there either. Oh no, we're doing the old traineroo. I don't know. I can't. I'm pot committed. I am pot committed. It's happening. It is happening. Where do I need to go?
Just turn around.
Turn around. Okay. All right. All
The
right.
overlook is like on those ruins, just to your right.
To the right, up there.
Yeah, that's the top of the room. So go left here.
Oh
and there's the path is to your left.
no!
Stephen, no.
What are we doing?
Break left.
Okay.
Go up the
I'm
stream.
gonna
to your
go up
left.
the. Oh god. Oh my god! Oh!
Are you doing this?
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really not. I swear.
Oh my
I
gosh.
swear. I'm just trying to run.
Okay, and to the right here.
I'm just trying to. Here, let me put some. Okay. Up
I
here.
didn't know we were gonna see a mimic.
I did not know we were gonna see a mimic either. Holy smokes! Ah. Can I go to the right?
Okay, the overlook is to your right. I don't know if it's safe to even go up there with this many chasing you,
Hold on,
but
hold on, hold on. Hold on. Let me just see if I can sleep them. Oh, okay, they're fleeing.
They're leashing.
I wonder if I can kill this thing. Oh no, definitely cannot kill that thing.
yeah, it's level 20.
Okay, they're fleeing. They're fleeing.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. We did it!
You
And
good
we did it!
job.
Thank you!
Somehow, amazing, amazing. You survived that.
Oh my god.
Okay, up the. So the overlook is up on top of these ruins here. Yeah, you can climb with the ruins.
Okay. So this is for the Oakenbane Overlook. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is also a little bit of a dangerous area.
Yep.
Alright, let's go. Oh, can't go this way either. There's a little watch
Yeah.
dude.
Jeremy made sure that it's pretty hard to sneak around through here.
Okay. Let's just see. Oh god.
Nice.
Oh god. Oh god!
Oh,
Oh no. Guys, everybody look away.
Oh,
Eye muffs.
no.
Eye muffs.
I'm.
And we're good. We're good. Let me just pick up all these things that I died with. And that's good. And I normally don't want to do that, but I am trying to just... I didn't know that guy was going to spin to win right as I was trying to pass him.
That's a berserker for you. Just when you least expect it.
I know. And watch, I'm probably going to get him low here. And he's going to probably get some temp health. As usual. There's the temp health. Go.
But at
Got
least
him.
he spun to one that time and it didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
that was a nice shatter. Look at that.
Yeah.
That was a
that was
nice
great.
shatter. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate the additional support there. Right now, the stream is most definitely roasting me. Okay, so I'm assuming, since this is getting a view of Oakenbane, that I should be up here.
Yeah, it's also marked on your map and implied in the quest text that you're supposed to climb up here. But
Oh, okay. This is a beautiful view, actually.
yep. Nice.
We did it! We have discovered the location.
leveled up.
Oh, the node is there. Okay. Wow, look at this view. Oh my god, what is this?
So yeah, when nodes level up, they will create new content. New story arcs will start, and story arcs are very big, like big area-changing things that can happen.
Right, well, like we saw with Carfin.
Like we saw with Carfin. This is one for Oakenbane.
Oh my gosh, that is cool. Oh, I want to go down
And,
there and check it out.
It'd be pretty
That's
tough.
a long drop.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh, okay, I made it. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so this area now has entered into a story arc.
Correct. And you're not right near where the quest givers would get you kind of started on the story for this, but they're not far. And yeah, these would be the quests involved in story arcs are a little bit more complicated than commission style and side quest style quests, but there's a whole big long chain to deal with. The dark magic that you just saw settling in over this once sacred resting place for old heroes.
I love it. This looks great. Well, this was quite a presentation. Obviously, it was really enjoyable to kind of go through, commissions and give the community an insight to Alpha 2, kind of what their daily activities are going to include, but more importantly, how those commissions change the state of the world around you and kick off these almost domino-like effects with regards to events and side quests and the story arcs where you constantly see a changing world around you. That is really the promise of Ashes. And as the world changes, you're a part of building what's to come next. So, Scott, Tony, Tyler, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for all the hard work you guys have been doing. It's really paying off, and it's looking really, really fun.
Thanks for having us. It's great to
Awesome.
show it.
Love
Yeah,
it.
thank you so much.
Absolutely. And everyone, I'll see you guys back on stream real soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Woo! We did it. I survived. I trained 100 mobs there
It's
at the end,
true.
but
I was so surprised and shocked whenever you actually were able to make it. So I was like, wow,
Yes.
they left you alone. I'm going to play the commission's video in the background whilst we go ahead and answer some questions because you all had some questions in chat for us. Ragnar and Roshan have been great about keeping an eye on. I think there's a watch party happening in Discord. So if you didn't know, you can always hang out with us over there or watch us live here on Twitch. And we are watching all of your questions and gathering the most frequent ones that are relevant to what we're broadcasting today. The first question here is there a limit to how many commissions I can take at one time from the board, or can I just grab them all?
Currently, the limit is set to 20. You can have 20 active commissions at a time. And again, this is obviously a very tunable thing, right? We can change that number just like that. So it's going to be part of Alpha 2 testing that we're going to see, how do players interact with the commission system? How often are they keeping that 20 slots filled? How often are they deleting slots to make room for others, right? Those are things that we're going to want to watch and we're going to want to tune. But the idea of commissions is that they should be relatively easy and quick quests that people are doing, again, to help seed the world.
Yeah, and as you noticed, Stephen was able to complete those in the world. So once you complete them, you can actually open it up, get your reward right there. It's very different than what you saw with the side quest or a regular big story arc quest. There were a lot of people asking about story arcs. Yes, we have huge story arcs that are much bigger, broader ones, but those are very different, and you're going to specific areas, NPCs, and things of that sort.
Yeah, and just to be clear, when we talk about that 20 quests, that's for commissions specifically. That does not bleed into side quests or into story arcs. Those are other systems of questing that are unique to themselves.
The next question we have here is, can commissions be shared with friends? If I have one, can I just quickly share it with a friend? I think that goes for any quest. What is the shareability access for questing?
Yeah, this is actually a very good point of feedback for the community to talk about what you like or dislike about sharing. Currently, it is implemented in such a way where you can share these quests with friends that excuse me, that you're in a party with. But there has been some discussion on the design team about sharing. And the idea is obviously it's great to be in a party. We want to incentivize people to be social with one another. And part of that social aspect is being able to share, what adventure you're on.
People like sharing their quests, but not their cookies. Apparently, that's what the conversation is. But it seems like an overwhelming so far. But be sure to go under the forums and share that with us. We do have a feedback thread up there. I'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Our next question is, and I guess if the commissions are shareable, what about regular side quests or story arc quests? What is the stance on those things?
Currently, the idea is that all questing is shareable, right? So you're able to share those things, but that's something that might be tuned, obviously, as we kind of watch players test through Alpha 2.
All right. And then, can players kill important quest NPCs? I believe we've answered this before, but people really wanted you to kill the Minotaur for some reason. The quest giver.
The quest giver? No, no, the quest giver is not killable, right? When there is an ability to kill an NPC, there should be a good reason for killing that NPC, and denying content to other players is not necessarily a good reason. So the quest giver themselves are not killable.
We may have some story arcs down the line where you're killing some well-known NPCs, but we got to build it up, We got to make you either love them or hate them before you get to that point.
Yeah.
The next one here is, what happens to existing quests in a player's journal if a node levels before they are completed?
Existing quests, so those are still those are still capable of being completed, right? Once you've adopted the quest, you're able to complete it regardless of whether or not the node levels. However, that is not true always. That is not always the case for certain types of, I believe, and I will double check on this afterwards, but I believe that is not always true for certain steps of the story arc. So there are some, and I guess technically if a node gets destroyed, those quests would also not be capable of being turned in either.
All right. And then the next one, you did kind of showcase this in the game, but we can just address it because it was a common question. Can other players join in on another player's commission or side quest progress? You talked about that just now. You can share a quest. Does this require partying up? So does it, the element of this that we didn't quite answer is, do you have to be in a party to share things?
Yes, you do
Okay.
have to be in a party to share things.
All right.
There's no sharing on the fly, just a share radius. You run
What
by
if
people and,
I
"Ooh, you got this, you
kick
got a
somebody and then
card."
reinvite somebody and then keep sharing with people?
As long as
I'm gonna
as long
exploit
as
it,
they're in their
Steven.
party. Yeah, I know. As long as they're in your party, you're gonna get a share marker. If you're sharing too much, you're gonna get flagged. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. We'll log people who are sharing too much.
Right.
We will be logging everything, so there will be an element of this that we can track and look into.
Of course, yeah.
The next question here is, do lightning abilities do bonus damage in the rain? So if
Yes, yeah. So
yeah.
we've talked about this in the past. It isn't something that has been implemented yet, but it is intended that certain weather effects will have certain types of modifying buffs to targets within the area of effect for that weather. So, for example, cold being susceptible to cold-like energy types, and electrical with regards to rain, like those are the intent of these weather systems. They add an additional layer of dynamic combat consideration within the area.
And then, was the lightning hazard only for the Stormweaver Minotaur event, or will that continue to happen during the weather?
Yes, as I mentioned in the video, the hazardous lightning is actually a combination of the weather event itself, which isn't unique just to this story arc, or excuse me, just to this event. As storm events move throughout the world, they will be accompanied by these types of hazardous environmental features such as lightning. And that's something that I think adds a little bit to the level design or the encounter design for the content.
All right. And that is the majority of the questions that we had. It seems like folks are, hey, these are quests. They understand how quests work. And it was cool to see kind of how one commission can kind of take you throughout the world and kind of bring you to explore and see more things. And you even saw a story arc get started there towards the end, a node leveling up because of the commissions.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we didn't quite address that in the stream or in the video as prominently for folks to understand. But the commission boards, whenever they're taking those are quests that will help the node level up specifically.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So let me talk a little bit more to that. So I explain in detail.
Yeah.
So what people saw there, that commission board, you saw 8 available, or I think it was 8 or 10 available commissions. Now, obviously, we're still nailing down how many of those we want to show at any given time. That might even be something that gets progressed as the node levels up. But you'll see that it changes every 30 minutes. And right now, the way it works is certain commissions have certain tiers of rarity. And as a player, whether you're a citizen or not, you can establish reputation within a node. And the way you establish that reputation is by completing buy orders, completing commissions and quests, and even completing caravan trips there or out of there. Different interactions that you would do with the node can yield you reputation within that particular node. And the more reputation you have with a node, you get greater access to higher tier type commissions, right? And so as you have access to those greater rare commissions, you'll get better rewards and have unique content that's available to you as a person who's privileged with that reputation. So you can adopt those higher rare commission types. Now, the commissions are constantly changing, and they're constantly seeing the state of the world in order to change and present what's available. But you'll see that as we went through this presentation, commissions are the initial seed. And as you move out into the environment, you're going to be presented with side quests that pop up. And those are also predicated on the state of the world. So for example, we saw a side quest that popped up due to the storm event. And the storm event was created because there was activity within the area that was brought there as a funnel of traffic from the commission board in the nearby node. And then once that node leveled up as a result of this additional experience being brought there, it kicked off a particular event. And so that's kind of like the full loop between how commissions move to side quests, how side quests create events, how events help to create story arcs, which are these larger, more intensive, multi-day potential types of quest progression. So this is obviously in a very nutshell format where we can kind of show you that full loop, but these are going to be kicking off left and right. I mean, all around you as you're within the world, and this is kind of your normal activity state within Ashes of Creation. You're constantly finding these things to do, which will give you rewards like recipes we saw within this particular commission, certain unique material components that you can then craft with, obviously riches and gold that you can use through the glint to kind of convert and or trade with. All of that is within the progression loop.
All right. Thank you for expanding on that. And of
Yeah.
course, as with everything here, everything's a work in progress. We are still in alpha. We're moving towards our alpha 2 here coming up in Q3. So stay tuned for more information in regards to that. But in the meantime, if you have feedback for us on the commissions preview that we showed you, please head on over to our forums and make sure that you share your feedback over there. The community team does an amazing job putting together these reports that we then share with the development team and go over with them. And if they have additional questions, you may see some other dev discussions that come up based on those topics. So definitely give us your feedback. And it doesn't have to be specifically about commissions. It's anything that you saw here that you want to give us feedback on. We are very much taking that all in and doing our best to adjust things as we move forward, especially as we get closer to Alpha 2. And with that, we're going to swap on over to our studio.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the studio is kicking off this year like crazy. We have got a lot of stuff going on. This is probably the most intensive year we have ever had in the history of the studio. Obviously, we are continuing to work diligently towards delivering on Alpha 2 in the third quarter of this year, as we announced, and hiring has been going great. Obviously we talked a little bit last stream about the state of the industry. It continues to not be a great state for the industry. And again, our hearts go out to those individuals. But what I will say is this. I have been through a number of interviews over this month for people joining the team, and we are very close to passing the 200 number mark for the studio size. If we haven't already, I'm not sure. But what I will say is something very interesting. I actually had two interviews over the course of this last 2 weeks where they told me that they were laid off from their previous company, and that some of their friends who are not developers but are players that were excited about Ashes of Creation were pestering them to come and apply to us and look at the game. And I thought, I said to them, hey, if you ever watch our live streams, we use our community to help evangelize the game, obviously, right? To help kind of spread the word about Ashes of Creation, about our studio. And what a great thing it was to see that come full circle. There are individuals out there who are in need, and you guys did a great job. Those of you who helped to support spreading the word for Ashes, spreading the word for Intrepid Studios on your social media. Look at that. It came full circle. And we got some amazing candidates who joined the team over the course of this last month who are going to be able now to bring their tremendous talent to the production of Ashes, which is, obviously what we're here to deliver on. So kudos to you guys in the community for helping to spread that word. Additionally, I would say that, we have got a lot on our plate. We've got a lot on our plate. We are approaching the end of this milestone with our last sprint for milestone 9, or excuse me, for milestone 8. And we've got a lot of planning ahead of us to deliver on our third quarter Alpha 2. And I think, Margaret, there's something you wanted to talk a little bit about, kind of on what to expect with regards to, the feature set that we're going to be launching Alpha 2 with, because we've been getting a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up in the Q&A, but we can bring it up here as well because it is, pertinent to Alpha 2. But basically, we have a plan. So just stick with us. We'll share information with you guys as we go forward. But right now, we're not going to be. We don't want to get people all hyped for what's in Alpha 2 when we're not quite there, right? So we have a cadence in which we will be providing information, but stay tuned. We'll have a guide for Alpha 2 with information on what you can expect, what features you're going to be able to see, what systems, what archetypes are going to be available, etc. at the start of Alpha 2. And then as we go forward throughout Alpha 2, because it is going to be a long one, and it's not similar to Alpha 1 where, we were up for like a month and then we're down. So it will be a long-term thing that we're going to be doing for quite a bit, and we will be sharing updates throughout that. For the big updates, you'll see news posts for those with information on what systems and features and content is going to be available for you all. And then obviously for the smaller ones, we'll have smaller patch updates. But for all of the updates, we'll always give you guys patch notes for those. They'll just be displayed in different ways. So for the big ones, you'll see news posts. For the smaller ones, you will see those probably through the forums or whatever means we decide that we're going to be doing those in. Probably in a couple different places, but making sure that all of that information is available to you all as we move forward, especially for our Alpha 2 playtesters.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
stick
so
with
that's
us.
the update.
Yeah, and there will also be other things that we're sharing. I know the community team has a lot of really cool community programs that they want to run during Alpha 2 as well. So even if you're not part of Alpha 2 in the sense that you don't have a key or you're not able to really like play yourself, there will be lots of ways that you can engage and watch. Obviously, people will be streaming. There's plenty of content that will be available to you. People will be making YouTube videos. We're going to be working with content creators. I know that content creators keep asking us when we're going to be sending out invitations. We will share that information as well. Right now, we are in application phase for content creators. So if you are one, feel free to apply for us. And we will be closing that application at some point in order to start sending out invites. And those invites will go out in groups. And then we will slowly get through everybody. But our goal is to respond to everybody. Stephen really wants us to, even the people who aren't able to make it into the program, we want to give them reasons why. And primarily the reason it's going to be why is that you're not making content. So really our goal is that you should be making consistent content. We aren't looking for just only the big streamers. We are looking at anybody who's creating consistent quality content. So it doesn't just necessarily, if you only have 100 subscribers, that's not a big deal to us. It's really about the content and the consistency in which you're making your content. So we don't want to discourage anybody. We want everybody to be able to help us make content and, create an amazing Alpha 2 experience for folks. And for those of you who didn't get part of it because our pre-order packs are down, we have been doing giveaways. For our Valentine's Day, we did a huge campaign that was a bunch of, giveaways for Alpha 2. So stay tuned for those things. If you're not following us on social, we're at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. We share that information for you all. So, next one, make sure you're keeping your eyes out. But we did get a lot of people involved with that. So thank you for doing that. We had a good laugh reading your guys' Valentine's Day goodies.
By the way, I just want to give a shout out.
Yes.
Can we give a shout out for this?
Yeah, go for it.
We had a glorious fan who I can't recall the username now, but maybe you can find out why I'm talking about this.
Yeah.
Sent in this awesome mask, and for those of you who might recall, if anybody in chat knows where this mask came from, does anybody know in chat where this mask came from? This mask came off of one of the NPCs, our shaman goblin. And this individual recreated it. What was it? Do you have their name? Do you know their name?
I was
Mark?
waiting
think we
for
did a post.
Peter to get back to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
Peter,
on
got it. And it is really, really cool.
Pockets art.
Pockets art.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my gosh.
they had posted on the forums their creation process, and they had messaged me on Discord and said, "Hey, I really want to send this to Steven because." And if you guys noticed, we had a clip of Steven saying he's like, because I was like, I would wear that mask. I hope that we can make that be a player one too. So when you kill the shaman, maybe you have a chance to get one or a named one. And I was like, I would wear that, and Steven's like, I would wear that in real life. And we clipped to him putting it on. I got John to get some pictures of Steven wearing it. So
that was great. So
it was really cool. Honestly, we are so thankful for all of you. It is really, really cool to see the amazing community creations that you guys make for us. I mean, we have so many that every Friday we share a new fan art, right? Like that is so cool for us to be able to experience as developers. We share that with all of our development team as well. And they always add comments and their thoughts on it. And it's just always exciting to see something that we create getting like fan art for it. That's so cool.
Oh, they
Thank
tell
you
me
all.
they tell me to put it on. I'm sorry. I'll put it on for the Q&A.
All right. And with that, we're going to do character art if we want to switch to that.
Okay, I'll put it on for the art segment
Okay.
if I can.
There. Sorry, Paul. Apologies for that. I fixed it in the one scene. I didn't fix it in this one. This is our
Okay,
Pyre
can you hear me?
starting gear. Yeah, they can hear you. It actually
Does it
fits
look-
you pretty well. I think it just
Does it-
needs to be like the eyes need to be down a little more. There you go.
There you go. How about
There you
that?
go. So you can actually see.
Better.
Um,
Okay.
We've been
should put my
showing some of
glasses
the
on.
starting gear as we're moving forward, but obviously, if you guys have thoughts and feedback, feel free to share them with us. But this is kind of the Pyrite one that we're working towards. Next up, we've got some Bard goodies. Last time, we kind of ended the stream with a little Bard teaser. Obviously, it was more of a joke, not like our final Bard animations and songs. But
It was a good joke, actually. I loved it.
it was a joke, but we hope that you all enjoyed it. But we are working towards Bard goodness. So we have a lot of instruments being created. Animations for those instruments are going to be created. We have abilities and things of that
By the
sort.
way, we had a lot of people in the community that not only liked the meme, but were really interested in Bard. Bard is not traditionally a class that gets a lot of interest, I think,
You
population wise. Yeah, oh yeah. I don't think it's like I don't even say it's in the top 3 of the games that offer Bard as a class to play. I would say it's definitely not in the top 3 most like played classes in those games.
Yeah, I would say it's not in the top 3, but in a few of the games that I have played in the past, they have been pretty prevalent, primarily because song weaving and buffs and things
sure.
like that are required. So almost every raid has needed them, and I think that is
I just think
awesome.
they never come close to like, tank rangers, mages, like those usually are the population tilt.
Yeah, for sure. I don't disagree with that. But hopefully we make it so cool that more people want to play bards.
Right, I can't see
And
how
I
much
know
it
that
is.
they're working hard towards that. But lots of instruments to be creating. If there's instruments that you're interested in, I'm sure we'll make a social post about it, asking you what kind of bard instruments you'd like to see. And perhaps maybe you'll see some new instruments being created that you like. The next one here is an Arcane Mind set of armor. Obviously, you'll see some NPCs with this, maybe player usability at some point.
Oh yeah. Did we show
And
off the Carfin yet?
that's I'm saving that one for last. 'cause
Oh, okay.
it's-
Good call. Good call.
But it is next up. So the next one is the Carfin set. And this is the Carfin Light set. So there will be other sets that are created. But
These are the Carfin robes.
yes, the
Ooh,
robes. So we'll first show the images.
Look
and I
at that model.
And I think there's a sketch here. Yeah, right here. This is like the concept, and then you can see how it.
Oh yeah,
is
that
being
was a
created.
concept. I think Lloyd did the concept. Who did the modeling? Was that
I didn't put them in
Manny,
this
Keith?
this month. This week was a chaos for me, so that I actually
Oh.
didn't get the art. And we had some VPN stuff with VPNs being up and down, so I was kind of rushing for the art stuff.
So this is a set of robes that you can acquire through progression within the Tower of Carfin.
I think Manny worked on it, is what they're saying.
Nice.
So thank you,
Awesome.
Manny.
Well done, Manny.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. And then we have the turntable for it as well, so you can see it in all its 3D glory.
And by the way, there's one thing there that I want to make sure, you guys in the community, one of the promises we made early on, because we incorporate, as you guys know, cosmetics as a part of our monetization strategy. Obviously, no pay to win, no pay to convenience, but we do offer a cosmetic marketplace and intend to for launch.
Mhm.
This is the quality of in-game gear that you can acquire. Compare that to the cosmetics that you've seen modeled, and now you can understand how we aim to have parity between those two things. A lot of games that I've been a player of,
The cosmetics look better. sometimes,
Exactly.
yeah.
They weight your incentive they incentivize you to acquire the cosmetics because they always look way better than what's achievable in game. This is our attempt to create parity in that regard. So
And
you
this is
guys
the
can
light
you guys
set,
can
so
give
the
us your
robes.
feedback on that. Right. You'll see the plate probably next month. I think I just saw it completed.
Ooh, yay.
Yes. Yeah, you'll see the Carfin plate set as well.
Yeah, so there will be medium and heavy armor as well. So stay tuned for more of that goodness. But yeah, we do plan on doing cosmetics still, but of course, in-game stuff should be really awesome. It should be something that when you achieve it, people are look at you and go, "Oh, you'd completed the
Oh my
Carfin stuff.
God,
Yeah, you worked
yes.
hard for that." We understand. I think, especially Steven and I, we're huge competitive gamers. We
Yes.
want to be able to show off the work that we've done. We want that for you guys
Oh,
as
I
well.
hated it. I hated it when nothing you did in game looked anywhere near the person that swiped. Now, not to say I couldn't swipe. I swiped all day long, but I didn't like the fact that the achievement level of reward was not on par with the swipe reward. That was unfortunate.
I still wore the achievement stuff because I want people to know. I want you to know what I did. But that's the art update for this one. And, stay tuned for more. We don't want to spoil everything for you guys, but we do want to keep you informed.
Somebody
I
said
will,
whale. Somebody said whale noises.
yep, that
That's
is
so good.
definitely the case.
It's so good.
But hey, those people keep the lights on sometimes. We do need the income coming in from that stuff, but we also want it to be, make sure
Yeah.
that you
I
guys have
was
a cool
funding
gameplay experience.
I was funding development studios long before I started one.
Steve. It's really funny because I've worked at a few different companies, and there was like people who had spent in the millions on cosmetics, and it's just amazing to me that I'm just like, why? Like, you're not even wearing in-game armor ever at that point. Like, you just you
Oh,
purchased
no.
everything. Of course, we have some questions from you guys on the forums, and this will be wrapping us up today. If you don't know, we always put up a Q&A before the stream. So we tell you the topic, we give you the Q&A. Be sure to make sure that you fill that out. That's another way for you to ensure that your question gets answered live here on the stream. But this first one is from Talents, and they want to know about armor appearance. Speaking of, because that's a great tangent.
Nice.
We have, since a single armor set will look different on each race, how will we have large varieties of in-game achievable gear for each race if we have to make 9 different looks for each set?
Well, our approach to that's funny that we have this question because
Yeah.
that is hilarious. Well, the approach for that is to create a modular piece set for armor creation. And the way we achieve that is by 2 steps. So on the modeling side, each race has these geo sets basically where you're creating pieces of the armor for heavy plate armor, for medium, for robes, and you get to grab those modular pieces and mix and match as design makes a request for a particular set to the art teams. So design comes along and they say, hey, we have a theme for a set that we want to create. So let's use Carfin in that example. And that theme from design's standpoint is going to include color. It's going to include materials. It's going to have an etymology for the set, right? To kind of give a background so that they can incorporate certain types of attachments, whatever they want to include on the art side. Then the character team says, okay, let's take our base sets of Geo and let's mix and match those pieces to create the Carfin set. And then we're going to do a material pass on it. And then we're going to do a color pass on it. And that way we have a lot of essentially pieces of the puzzle to create these many different unique sets. Now, we can also deform pieces across from race to race. So even if we create unique geo on a per race basis, we can grab the pauldron from the human set and put it onto the VEC representation. So, and the end game there is that we have a particular set, for example, Carfin, and that Carfin is being communicating the theme. And when you don the armor for the Carfin set, you've acquired the Carfin set and you put it on, it is going to look VEC if you're a VEC. It is going to look Kalar if you're a Kalar, but it is still going to have the identity and the theme of the Carfin set.
All right. And then our next question is about commissions, which is from AdAstra224 on the forums. Will commissions include tasks or quests that are reflective of node type, the node type that are issued in, or the node's affiliation with a specific social organization?
Wow. Do
I
we have
know,
a
very
bug in the
specific.
office? No, this is so funny. Like I was just talking about this a few days ago, Chris.
One of Chris is over there on an alt.
I know Chris is like, let me ask this question. Yes, the answer is yes. Nodes will reflect the theming that the node has, and that theming can be influenced by things such as the identity of the node from a node type perspective, what social organizations, what religious organizations, even what policies the node has chosen to enact. Those will all be represented in the types of commissions that the node has to pull from. And so in that way, you are solidifying the identity of that node and again, the dynamic state of the world that gets represented.
And then our next one is from Plastic Lemons. Don't eat those. Social reputation is the topic. Will there be a way to put notes on characters so we can track who we like or dislike or who we don't want to affiliate ourselves with?
That is currently not an intended system that's facilitated within the game. Nothing's stopping, obviously, players from keeping their own notes of individuals with whom they
Your
want
hit
to
list?
remember. Yeah, your hit list or, even your good list, right? Like I remember a particular occasion back in a game that I played where I was in a tower. It was called Kruma Tower. And at a very low level, I made friends with a particular prophet who would give me buffs anytime I would come in. And I remembered who that prophet was. And later I saw in Shout, this was probably like months later, and I moved obviously away from Kruma Tower. Months later, I saw in Shout this prophet was getting accosted by other players within an area called the Dungeon Valley Cave. And I went to her aid because of that reputation, that relationship that she had built, right? That's the unique aspect of MMOs. And that spun off a whole war that lasted years on that server just because I went there to help her. But
Did you go
obviously,
there or did you bring
uh,
like a posse
well,
with
I
you?
brought my guild with me and then we helped her, and that caused a war that
There
lasted a
you
long
go.
time.
That's
Yes.
the.
But no, we won't plan to have in-game tools to kind of provide that tracking. Instead, you will be expected to track that yourselves.
All right. And the next one is from Snow Elf about the character creator access. Will players who do not have Alpha 2 access be able to test the character creator?
At some point, yes, in the future, there will be an ability for players who do have an account with Ashes of Creation, but may not have access to Alpha 2. We intend to provide character creator access, but that will likely be closer to beta or launch.
Yeah. For now, it's going to focus on the people who have purchased access and are helping us test
Correct.
things. So keep that in mind. But we do have a plan of putting the character creator out early for our Alpha 2 users. So do stay tuned
Yes.
for information regarding that.
In
Next up,
fact, that testing might be starting very soon.
Yes. Always keep an eye on your emails. Make sure that we don't get put in your spam box, so that if you get an email from us, you know what's up. But we'll also share, in other places to make sure people know that we have sent out emails. Daredevil117 is asking about harvesting bosses. Can only one gathering artisan harvest resources from a single boss, or can multiple different artisans harvest different parts from a boss for different resources? For example, a lumberjack gets a special wood from Tumok's tree weapon, while an herbalist gathers the flowers from that same tree weapon, etc.
So we don't have the concept of like harvesting from bosses. NPCs follow a reward table format where those reward tables are global. They're not unique to particular players, right? So once the NPC is vanquished, you have access to the loot container that is its corpse, and it has a static value of either materials or items that get dropped, and whatever the party loot settings are that you might be a part of, or if you're a solo player, you will be able to recover those things.
All right. Next up, we have from Ace1234 wanting to know about character stories. What is your vision for the overall player story when comparing the more emergent personal stories versus the more curated story arcs?
I'm sorry. Say that one last time. One more
Yeah.
time.
What is your vision for the overall player story when comparing the more
Sure.
emergent personal stories versus the more curated story arcs?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so all the narrative keeps in mind, what the meta narrative is of the server, right? And that's something, we have generally kept relatively close to the chest. It's something that we don't want to spoil, leading up to our testers participating in Alpha 2 and Beta and eventually launch. It is, however, true that there is a meta narrative that exists within Ashes. There is a purpose why you are on Vera again, and the supporting narrative structures are there to reinforce what that meta narrative is. So players will have insight to that as they, travel and adventure within the world.
All right. And Roni Scaponi wants to know about summoner stats. Will summoners want to build different stats when playing as either a DPS, healer, or tank role?
Yes, that it is. It is important that summoners understand the role they're trying to hybridize into, as that decision might influence the types of stats they want to spec for.
All right. And then Gizmo wants to know about quest drops. Low drop rates for quest items can sometimes feel bad. How do you plan on creating quests with lower drop rates when Ashes of Creation may have a system that incorporates dynamic and reactive environment and monster population balance?
So how do we incorporate on,
So
or
let's
how
say
do
you
we
have a
intend?
quest and
Mhm.
it requires some drops off of Minotaurs
Yes.
and it is a rarer drop rate or low drop rate. How are we
Mhm.
going to handle those situations? Or do we intend for those those type of
We
situations?
we intend for those types of situations, right? I mean, when you think about the reward loop,
Someone in
there's
chat's just
this.
like, just farm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no. When you think about those reward loops, scarcity is obviously what can drive the excitement or the dopamine response when that success is had. If something is easily attained, then the importance of attaining it is obviously diminished. So where it makes sense for us to ensure that certain drop rates are not menial, right? We don't want people to farm just for the sake of farming, so to
You
speak.
should be getting rewarded for that, right?
Exactly
Yeah.
right. There is when you're spending time, you are advancing in some vertical, some progression path, right? Um, However, that is again to reinforce the fact that there will be very rare drop table items, right? And we want to ensure that that scarcity is preserved, so the importance of attaining the thing feels good.
I mean, that's why we farm raid bosses, right? We want to get all
That's
the
right.
loot off the loot table, get everybody geared up in your in your guild.
Yeah.
That is
And that
pretty,
actually it touches something tangential actually to that as well,
yeah.
which is that adventuring is not easy in Ashes. Our intent when we actually, focus on balance, which we haven't really done too much yet, but we will here in the very, very near future. The intent is that encounters are difficult. The world is dangerous. It is not a cakewalk to progress within Ashes. And that fact reinforces when you get the scarce drop that you will feel a difference in your performance or in that environment, right? So naturally, Ashes is going to gravitate towards a more difficult gameplay loop when it comes to adventuring and combat.
Yeah, and you want that fat loot so that it gets easier. Well, for that marker. The next question here, our penultimate, is from Akabear, and it is about caravan operators. These next two are caravan related. Will there be a limit on the number of times a caravan can change hands if successfully taken over during a journey from one node to another?
No, there is there is no limit. A caravan can be destroyed. That caravan can be destroyed. The caravan thereafter could be destroyed. The driver of the caravan can be killed and commandeered and done as many times as is permitted through the situation that is player driven.
All right. And our last one here is from Grundle about mules or caravans. How will mules work with caravans when considering risk versus reward? What would be the incentive to run multiple player protected caravans if similar results could be achieved by each individual player riding a mule instead?
Sure. So the trade-off between the mule capacity and the caravan is really what is at risk, right? You are not able to satisfy the type of cargo capacity that's available within a caravan system because we have certain crate sizes, of which only the smallest crate size can be leveraged with a mule. That is something that obviously is the inherent risk between the two systems. The reward, however, is that you are now no longer subject to the opt-in event, but instead are governed by our flagging system as a protective measure, although it is not entirely protective because players can choose to still kill you with risk of corruption in exchange for the reward of taking your shit or taking your stuff. Sorry.
It's okay. Um, but that is going to be it for Q&A. Thank you all for submitting your questions. We hope that you like the answers. If you don't, give us your feedback on that too. We are always, taking in that your thoughts on everything. And of course, you can head on over to our forums, forums.ashesofcreation.com, and submit your feedback over there. We did a caravan video for those because we have a lot of caravan questions right there. If you didn't know, we did a caravan PvP live stream last time. You can check out all the content over on our YouTube channel over there. Follow us in all the places. We are Ashes of Creation everywhere. And if you head on over to our, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we also have one additional update, which I believe that you guys released something on the community side, which was our minimum spec and recommended spec.
Oh, yeah. Our KB article for our min and rec spec have been updated for Alpha 2 specifically. So that will change as we get closer to betas and launches, and you will see that progressively change. But that information is available to you guys if you head on over to our support page and check that out, support.ashesofcreation.com. And that has, if you type in min rec spec, I'm sure maybe someone can post it in the chat too, so you have the link really easily. But that is what we are aiming for Alpha 2. So you can kind of preliminarily prepare yourself for that if you are part of the Alpha 2 playtesting.
Yes, and I just want to give a quick shout out to our team, specifically Tech Art, Environment, and our engineering teams. They are overhauling performance-related work over the course of this last month, as well as next month and the month thereafter in preparation for Alpha 2. You guys should see some significant gains in the demonstrations that we continue to provide leading up to Alpha 2 with regards to that work. And in addition, Chris, Gabe, John on the environment side are undergoing some significant lighting changes, which are going to impact and influence the visuals of the game in a very
A
significant
lot of people
way.
had feelings about lighting today.
Yes, I just want you guys to know that when we talk about how things are still a work in progress, this particular endeavor is likely going to have the most impact on the visuals of the game as they continue to work on lighting. That's going to be a switch that we flip when it's ready, minus the pun, I apologize, for how the world looks and their work that they're doing. So just want to keep you guys abreast of that. It is exciting times when it comes to that work.
Yeah, it's super exciting. We are very excited for that. And of course, if you head on over to our YouTube channel on our Ashes of Creation for this February development update, if you leave a comment, subscribe to us, make sure that your subscription is live for us, because you can subscribe privately, which makes it so that we can't see that you're subscribed. And we will spotlight you as a potential comment, and you may see your comment at the beginning of our stream as we do all of our reminders. And of course, we want to do a thank you very much to all of you for joining us. We appreciate your time that you spend with us every month, going through the update, and of course, your time giving us feedback and all of that. We really, really appreciate it. And as Stephen said, sharing our job application and positions, we really, really, it does actually affect us when you share those things out because other developers see those things. So if you see a position that's available that you think someone who maybe has just recently got laid off, or maybe they just still have their job, but you think that they would be amazing assets to us sharing that information, we'll have some more jobs coming up on our site as well. So stay tuned for those as we progress throughout the year. And of course, Scott, Tony, and Tyler for joining Steven in game. We know that it is stressful being on. They're not on camera, but like when you're being streamed, it is a stressful situation. Not every developer is,
Oh,
ready for that.
they
But they
love
always
to
kill
see
it.
the reaction and
Yeah.
the love from the community, the glowing response. That's what we live for.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome, but I know it can also be very. Some people get nervous about it. Steven's like, I'm not nervous.
Oh no, I'm definitely.
I know. Me and you chat before. We're always like, all right, I'm nervous about this one, but I feel like this today I was not very nervous.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah. But of course, and Stephen, for your time, we appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us. We hope that you stay healthy and safe, and we will see you all next month for another exciting development update.
Bye,
Toodles.
everyone.